Brought to you by Penguin.
The Light of Asia, a history of Western fascination with the East. Written and read by me, Christopher Harding. For my children. Introduction. 11th of September, 1893. At 30 years of age, this was Swami Vivekananda's first attempt at public speaking. Wearing a saffron-coloured turban above robes of crimson and orange, he rose to face an audience of 4,000 people, split between the floor and gallery of the brand-new Hall of Columbus. A couple of years before, this part of the Lake Michigan shoreline, just south of Chicago, had been nothing but scrubland. Then 12,000 labourers had set to work, dredging, filling, and laying railway tracks. Locals paid a fee to enter the awe-inspiring construction site, looking on as the sort of iron and steel technology used in Chicago's skyscrapers was riveted and raised into place. Off these towering frames was hung a mix of white plaster, horsehair, and hemp, moulded into colossal structures intended to complement the plazas, fountains, and statues all around in recalling ancient Greece and Rome. A classical paradise, but with American backbone. The occasion for all this was the 400th anniversary of Christopher Columbus's famous journey west. The World's Columbian Exposition was a year late in opening, but in all other respects, a continent in whose existence Columbus himself had resolutely refused to believe, convinced until the end that his voyages had taken him to Asia, was pulling out all the stops to make him proud. There were columns and porticos, a gilded statue of the goddess of liberty, and murals and inscriptions celebrating everything from Isaac Newton to steamship technology. There was stars and stripes drapery, electric floodlights, and a grand archway inscribed with the words, "Ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free." Here was a country entering its pomp, New Rome and New Jerusalem rolled into one, propelled into the future by Enlightenment values, scientific know-how, and the kind of prosperity and optimism without which an undertaking on this scale would be inconceivable. Today's event was the opening session of a World's Parliament of Religions. Its aim was to bring to an exposition heavily focused on material accomplishments, from engineering to finance, a touch of the transcendent. Proceedings began with the echo around Lake Michigan of the Liberty Bell, tolling once in honor of each of 10 major world religions: Shinto, Taoism, Confucianism, Buddhism, Hinduism, Jainism, Zoroastrianism, Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. 60 or so speakers from around the world processed solemnly into the hall, cassocks and robes of all colours swishing along together as national flags fluttered above. An organ was fired up and a psalm sung, before everyone took to their seats for the speeches of introduction. A devoted biographer later remarked of Vivekananda that he remained in sage-like meditation as all this unfolded. The man himself remembered things differently. "My heart was fluttering," he wrote, "and my tongue nearly dried up." When his turn came to speak in the morning session, he had had to decline. Now he was ready to greet the gathered throng and, via the media clustered near his feet, to present Hinduism to a Western world which, across many centuries, had largely failed to understand it. It was a truly historic moment, and Vivekananda hadn't prepared anything to say. "Sisters and brothers of America," he began, and was forced to stop there as raucous applause took hold of the hall. Vivekananda went on, when the audience allowed him, to make an outline case for Hinduism. The mother of all religions, as he called it, had taught the world both tolerance and universal acceptance. "We believe," he added, "not only in universal toleration, but we accept all religions as true." To an audience consisting primarily of American Christians, familiar with the claim...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?